6-year-old Ebola patient, who Congolese authorities were searching for after armed men stormed the hospital where she was being treated, has been found and is doing well. A local health official has told the BBC. On Wednesday, Dr. Lubambo Maboho Gaston said that a girl and her mother had been taken by very angry men from a hospital in the eastern city of Butembo 2 days previously.
Israeli Foreign Minister Gideon Saar said this week he would suspend contact with the European Union's foreign policy chief, Kaja Kallas, over reports that she compared Israel's treatment of Palestinians with South Africa's former apartheid system. The diplomatic row follows reports by European news outlet Euractiv that Kallas made the remarks during high-level talks with Mexican officials in May. Citing unnamed officials, the outlet reported that the EU diplomat privately likened Israel's policies in Gaza and the occupied West Bank to the racial segregation regime that ruled South Africa until the mid-1990s.
It is not another anonymously sourced report about a rift between the United States and Israel. This time, the administration of President Donald Trump appears genuinely frustrated with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's war in Lebanon. The opening of the Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, between the US and Iran calls for the permanent termination of military operation, but the Israelis are not stopping their attacks in the country. They are not stopping their attacks in the country.
Washington, D.C., United States President Donald Trump has struck out at critics of a memorandum of understanding signed by Washington and Tehran to end the US-Israeli war with Iran. The statements on Friday, a continuation of Trump's defense of the deal to end the war launched by the US and Israel on February 28, came a day after US Vice President J.D. Vance cancelled begin negotiation to Switzerland on a host of entrenched issues as outlined in the MOU.
Few leadership initiatives can claim the longevity, influence and international reach of the Commonwealth Study Conferences. Founded in 1956 by His Royal Highness Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, the programme was built on a simple but powerful idea that leaders from different sectors, professions, challenge assumptions and better understand the society they serve.
7 historic antiquities recovered by Italian authorities have been returned to Pakistan and arrived in Islamabad, marking another milestone in cultural cooperation between the two countries. According to the Pakistani embassy, the artifacts were recovered by Italy's Guardia di Finanza and were formally handed over to the Consulate General of Pakistan in Milan in April. After completing the required procedures, the items were transported to Islamabad and officially received on Thursday.
Honor has introduced the Honor 600 Smart, which carries the largest battery in the Honor 600 series outside China. The phone also features a large 6.87-inch display, a durable body and a dedicated AI button. Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar will attend the 4th meeting of the R4 group of countries in Cairo on June 21 at the invitation of his Egyptian counterpart, Dr. Badr Abdelati, according to a statement issued by the Foreign Office. At the invitation of Egyptian Foreign Minister Dr. Badr Abdelati, Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar will attend the 4th meeting of the foreign ministers of the R4 group of countries, to be held in Cairo, Egypt, on the 21st of June 2026, said the statement.
Zimbabwe's lower house of parliament has passed a bill to extend presidential terms from 5 to 7 years, which would allow President Emmerson Mnangagwa to remain in power until 2030. More than 200 lawmakers voted in favour of the draft legislation on Thursday, surpassing the vote threshold required for a 2/3 majority to amend the constitution.
For years, Japanese football fans have won praise for cleaning up stadiums after World Cup matches. But this time, they're catching heat at home when photos emerged this week of Japanese fans combing the stands with trash bags after a match. Some saw a double standard: men who clean after themselves in public while leaving the burden at home to their wives.
Growing up in rural Ethiopia, 12-year-old Marcos Abe developed a deep affection for animals. So when his beloved chicken fell sick earlier this month and did not respond to any at-home treatments, Marcos popped his shoes on and did what made the most sense to him. He rushed the bird to the local hospital. Geo Platforms, the telecom unit of billionaire Mukesh Ambani's Reliance Industries, has announced what analysts say could be one of India's biggest share sales. The company's board has approved a draft prospectus for the initial public offering, IPO. Ambani said at Reliance's annual shareholder meeting on Friday.
Italy's Foreign Minister Antonio Tajani has cancelled a trip to the US after President Donald Trump told Italian TV that Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni had begged him for a picture with her. Meloni has said his comments were entirely made up.
As details of the agreement between the United States and Iran were beginning to emerge last week, a powerful Iranian politician stepped before a crowd in Tehran and read aloud what he claimed was the final text of the memorandum. Mahmoud Nabavian, vice chairman of the Parliament's National Security Commission, warned that the agreement would turn the Islamic Republic into a colony of the United States and open the Strait of Hormuz even to Israel. Britain's independent watchdog for lawyers has suspended the International Criminal Court's ICC prosecutor Karim Khan. In a statement issued on Friday, the Bar Standards Board, BSB, said the suspension was effective immediately. The move comes just a week after the ICC suspended Khan, who has led numerous high-profile prosecutions of senior figures in the conflicts in Sudan, Russia, and the Middle East.
Government College Women University SEALCOT, GCWUS, on Friday highlighted the Harvard-Radcliffe Fellowship 2027 opportunity for its students, according to a press release issued by the varsity. The Harvard-Radcliffe Fellowship 2027 was a fully funded program offering opportunities to outstanding researchers, scholars, writers, scientists, and professionals from across the world. Under the program, selected fellows will receive financial support along with a stipend, assistance with housing and relocation expenses, and access to global networking opportunities. Punjab has introduced a juvenile permit facility for young applicants aged between 16 and 18 years, allowing them to ride motorcycles under specific conditions and safety limits. The facility is aimed at bringing young riders into a regulated system instead of allowing underage riding without any official permission. Applicants who meet the requirements can visit their nearest driving license centre along with a parent or legal guardian to apply for the permit.
The UAE has issued a new resolution banning children under 15 from accessing social media platforms. Children aged 15 and 16 will be permitted to use social media under enhanced restrictions. The resolution was approved on June 18. Germany has honoured Sister Annette Dimijan, a German national who has spent nearly 3 decades serving at the Rawalpindi Leprosi Hospital with the prestigious Order of Merit of the Federal Republic of Germany. According to the German embassy, the medal was formally presented to Sister Annette by German Ambassador Ina Lepel during a ceremony held at the ambassador's residence in Islamabad on June 17.
The Cabinet Committee on State-Owned Enterprises, CCEs, on Friday approved the appointment of independent directors to the board of Pakistan National Shipping Corporation, PNSC, as part of efforts to strengthen governance at state-owned enterprises. The committee, chaired by Finance Minister Mohammad Aurangzeb, considered a summary submitted by the Maritime Affairs Division and approved the proposed appointments in line with the State-Owned Enterprises Governance and Operations Act 2023.
Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif on Friday announced a 74 reduction in petrol prices and 67s for high-speed diesel, HSD, as the government seeks to pass on the relief from declining international oil prices. The official notification for the new petroleum prices is yet to be issued.
Islamabad Islamabad, the government on Friday assured the PTI that it would discuss with the International Monetary Fund (IMF) the extension of tax exemptions for the merged districts of the erstwhile FATA and PATA regions, according to Federal Minister Rana Sanawallah. Sanawallah, who also serves as the Prime Minister's advisor on political affairs, made the remarks after key leaders from the government and the PTI met at Parliament House.
Afghanistan has launched airstrikes on what it called hideouts used by armed groups and hostile intelligence circles. Inside Pakistan, Kabul has announced the strikes, reported on Friday by Afghanistan's defence ministry, were launched the previous day. The incident is the latest threat to the fragile ceasefire between the neighbours.
Ashton in Makerfield, United Kingdom. Sue Hailwood has felt exhausted since May, when the date of a critical by-election in her town was announced. For months, Ashton in Makerfield, the suburban northern ward whose by-election looks set to determine the UK's next Prime Minister, has been visited by of activists and journalists.
When Allbirds pivoted to AI in April, it felt like a joke from Silicon Valley breaking free of the TV. The direct-to-consumer shoe purveyor, whose flimsy kicks helped define what we'll loosely call Silicon Valley style, had discovered a new trend to chase. The move was right out of the meme stock playbook written by GameStop. Take a troubled public company, latch onto the hottest fad, and reap the rewards of a rising stock price as retail investors piled in. Water and Sanitation Agency, WASA, has started finalising its emergency plan ahead of the monsoon season, as sudden rain systems and heavier than expected rainfall are likely to create challenges for the city's drainage system. According to WASA Managing Director Gufran Ahmad, sudden rain spells can put serious pressure on the drainage network, especially when heavy rain falls in a short period. However, he said WASA has improved its capacity to deal with such situations. In a first for the federal capital, authorities have developed a special digital application, Mahfuz Muharram, Safe Muharram, as part of extensive security arrangements for Muharram ul Haram. The arrangements include complete geotagging of all imam bargahs, religious gatherings and procession routes, alongside drone-based digital surveillance.
A private tutor has been sentenced to 3 years in prison after earning around £300,000 by completing coursework and taking exams on behalf of university students in a large-scale academic fraud scheme. Shahid Adnan, 43, from Liverpool, admitted to carrying out assignments and online assessments, including those enrolled at Liverpool John Moores University, LJMU.
Punjab Chief Minister Maryam Nawaz has approved the construction of 7 major hospitals in the Nawaz Sharif Medical City, a flagship healthcare project that will add 1,519 beds and several specialised medical facilities to the province's health sector. The approval was granted during a special meeting on public-private partnership projects, where officials reviewed 110 proposed development schemes across Punjab. The federal government has announced another but much bigger reduction in petroleum product prices on 19th June. Sources shared with pro-Pakistani, the price of petrol has been reduced by 74 per litre.